Hi everyone, it's Cal, and today I'm going to tell you exactly what occurs during the Kundalini. The Kundalini is the uninhibited flow of energy that is going at an extreme velocity that it harnesses and unites all the energy in your body to create your light body. Okay, this is happening to us on a generational level and on a personal level, and you can hyper do it like I did if you leave everything, go into meditation. Of course, there comes a point where you have to want to die in order to do it, but we'll talk about that later. Today is about what really the Kundalini is and what you can expect if that's what you're trying to do in your meditation practice. All right, so the Kundalini moves in two directions. It can move downward to unite, and it can move upward to unite. For me, I united it moving downward, but today I'm going to talk about it going upward. What happens when you're in deep meditation and you finally hit that fuel point where the feminine aspect, the goddess, grants you this opportunity? What will happen is below your groin, outside of your body, there will appear suspended in midair a dark blood red cube. And from it comes a cord of energy in red, and then it splits into two, and it splits perfectly in two. This is not some kind of haphazard thing where the energy is kind of flowing here and goes there. It is very geometric in the way it occurs. So the energy comes up here. The cord of energy splices into two cords of equal energy, and they move to the left and right of your being, to each side of your body, and then it enters your body. And at the point that it enters your body, it becomes different. It transmutes into, for me it was metal. That's the only way I can describe it. It was a thick cord of metal. So it comes from blood red into a thick cord of metal, and it's both sides move at the exact same time, and it flows like a snake. Now, at the point that the red portion of the cord of red turns into the metallic portion, right there the hissing starts. And the hissing is like a rattler hissing, and it fills the room. It is absolutely deafening. It is all-consuming. It is loud. It is very tribal and all-consuming. So the hissing begins at this point. And as the centers of your body unite, that's what you're doing. That's what you're here on Earth doing. Actually, you're through your journey, you're uniting the centers of your body so that you have more power, and it connects at each center. There will be 12, but for now there are 7. I've only done 7. And it's the 7 that I'm talking about today. When the metal comes, it's a clanging of metal, and it moves like a snake. It glides. It doesn't slither. It glides like a snake. But it has a very specific geometric shape, and they are all measured at the same at the same pace. So it's all moving at the same way. So it comes up, it joins in the center. When it joins, you'll hear a big clanging noise, like two metal bars clanging together. When these clang together and unite, you are uniting the masculine and feminine aspects of your body at this point. From this point, again, once it connects here, it begins again here, where another bar comes and it clangs together at this point. You're creating a ladder of energy. After the clanging here, after you unite at this level of being, this is a dimensional level of being, once this dimension is united, it begins again here. And at this point, things change. This is this is because it is the heart meridian. And this heart meridian has massive power, massive. So what happens when it unites? You click into fire. Well, I shouldn't say click in. You find yourself immersed in flames, flickering flames, how do you say, licking your body, like you are absolutely on fire, a massive fire around you, and yet the flames are cool. It's a cold fire, like cold fusion. And it actually is cold fusion that is happening to your body because you are uniting your light body. So sometimes in one lifetime, you'll unite one or you'll unite two. But again, in meditation, if you're trying to speed up the process, you can unite more. Okay, so you are on fire at the heart meridian. You are completely engulfed in flames, completely. And if you can maintain it, if you can hold this, the next level, you will go right through the heart meridian, or I'm sorry, the heart meridian. This is the heart meridian here. You will go right through the throat meridian, the throat chakra, or the throat center, and up right to the, I guess this is called the third eye chakra. I didn't really call them chakras or refer to them as chakras because I did not see, in my experience, I did not see any spinning wheels. It was purely metal bars connecting themselves with a massive clank, and it was a really intense situation. A massive clank in the center each time they united, except the heart meridian did not. The heart meridian, I found myself engulfed in flames, massive flames, right through the heart chakra, the energy goes, and then I found as I was in the fire and the fire was going, a kind of what felt like a dove, because it was a very small, exactly like a small bird, except it is not. This is an entire video on its own, what it actually is. But for the sake of explaining things, metaphorically, it was like a small bird, a dove, flapping its wings and creating a white halo around the crown of my head. So it continued, and the flapping of this bird as it surrounded, as it created the white halo around my crown, was very measured. It was not like some radical bird flying around. It had a very measured pace and pattern to it as it encircled my crown and created this white halo. And then my inner guide, which we'll talk about another time because everybody has their own inner guide and nobody is unique or that they have something different. Everybody has their own inner guide that appeals to them in their own way. And of course, that is unique, how the guide appeals to the individual. Everybody has their own guide. My guide told me to stay absolutely still. until the fire died out. So I stayed absolutely still until the fire died out. Then the next level came. Now, at the next level, this circle here represents a spiral up to where you came from, the star that you came from. So, as you hold, I meditated on the heart, deep, compassionate love for extended periods of time until this occurred. And as I held, you're holding two forces. You're holding the feminine force here, and I'm telling you, it is worse than childbirthing. And at childbirth, I had an episiotomy and a breech childbirth, and it was extremely painful, but nothing compared to this. If you can hold the heart, the focus on the heart, and it feels like the heart wants to tear through your body and go back to its owner, which is the feminine force. And at the same time, you have to hold the force from the Divine Father aspect. And that is the light that you experience, the Divine Father aspect, the light. If you can hold these two forces, it is agony and ecstasy at the same time. The agony is here. The holding the force of the mother is excruciating as well, but you are engulfed with love. And I know that it sounds a bit odd. You are holding the force of the mother through your heart, and the thing that helps you sustain the agony of your heart wanting to rip out of your rib cage is the love that she is focusing on you, that you are focusing on her as you focus on love, your heart. At the same time, you have this cord of light that is connected to the Father. This cord of light, the two are being held at the exact same time, and that's what causes this whole experience. At the point that the fire dies out and the dove dies away and the connection is made around the halo, the next stage, you are finding yourself arriving at the Father's door. And the archetypes father and mother only talk about the energy. It's not exactly like the father who has a penis or the mother who has a vagina. It's sexless. You arrive at the Father's palace. That's all I can say. It feels like a castle because it's so royal and so righteous and so for the goodness of all mankind. And at that moment, when you arrive at that cathedral, it is like a cathedral, a castle, completely in light, where the ones before you are. They turn like, it's like a field of kings, and they turn to you and welcome you with great love. This is your destiny. This is everybody's destiny. This is where we're headed. And we are all doing it at our own pace, at our own time. And it is great beauty to go into that castle. Now, that connection at that point cannot be sustained. The love is too strong. You can't sustain the love that the Father has. The Father is so strong, but nothing compared to the Mother. Nothing. He is diminutive to the Mother. The Mother is all. The Mother is space. The Mother is the universe. The Mother is the darkness. And she is the future of the Father aspect. As the Father aspect matures and becomes greater and greater, more powerful, and dies to himself time and time again, he will end up merging. That light, those stars you see in the sky, will end up merging with the darkness, the great darkness that is the body of the universe, that the Mother is. He becomes the Mother. He unites with the Mother and becomes the Mother. Great strength there. The feminine force is the strength. She is the one that wears the crown. She is the one that we all must bow to, and that is great compassion for others, great compassion for all things, for the self, for others, for all sentient things, and for all things beyond. Okay, at that point that you cannot sustain, at this point where you have gone back to the source from whence you came, you cannot sustain that force of love. It is so strong and so all-encompassing and so intense, and it's coming right out of your pineal gland right here. You have a big cord, You fall back. It cannot be sustained. I'll tell you, you arrive there, you are shocked at the love and the beauty and the complete welcoming as an equal in a castle of kings. You cannot sustain that. You fall. And when you fall, you spiral back down into the void, all the way down from whence you came. All the way down. And as you spiral down to the void, which is where the germination of your being began, you witness every lifetime you've ever lived. It happens really fast. And as you spiral, through each spiral represents one lifetime. All the way back into the void where you began as nothing but a little flicker of star fragment in the earth, and you grew up through levels of sediment and then insects and then animals and finally up to humans. It's liberating to know. I don't know how it helps your life every day, but it's liberating to know absolute truth. And it doesn't stop here. Absolute truth always becomes greater, even past this dimension, past where you came from. When you return to where you came from with your light body full intact, you have garnered more strength. You have come to the planet. You have garnered the strength of your body, united with it, and you pull the light that you've united through all this matter with you as you go back. You have more force of being. Now, in subsequent videos, I'm going to show you exactly what I learned through this experience. And that's all I can say. I hope you'll enjoy it. If you don't, at least you'll know what my truth was. I'm sure there are many differences. However, I think that this experience, the Kundalini, is unified for all of us. We all have the same experience of this in greater and lesser forms. And another thing I just want to reiterate is that the Kundalini is the unhindered stream of the flow of energy through your body. The unhindered stream. That means you don't have any kind of ailments. You don't have any kind of problems you're working through. The flow of energy has no blocks at all. No blocks. And the energy flows through you. That's the Kundalini. As the energy flows through you without the blocks, it's such a velocity and such a velocity, it unites all the centers of your body. That's the Kundalini, okay? So just to be clear, the Kundalini is the unstoppable, unhindered flow of energy through the body that unites your centers, okay? And I'm sure that you can do one during one lifetime or two during a lifetime, however they manifest for you. But whenever they are united, it is because there is absolutely no hindered flow. There are no blockages. And the energy is able to pressurize towards the center. And as it pressurizes to the center, you harness this energy. It becomes your own. When you first began here, it wasn't your own, but it becomes your own, and you become completely unified. And that unification is the beginning of the growth of you being your own universe. And that's what we're going to talk about in subsequent videos. Thanks for joining. I hope you enjoyed this video. And I hope to see you next time. And if you have any questions, go ahead and let me know. And hopefully I can answer them. All right, you take care.